So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Sekou Kene. With me right now is Johnson Mabon Kula, my colleague right there in the Republic of Liberia, precisely at Truth FM 96.1 in Duporo, Princeville, Republic of Liberia. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us this morning, this afternoon, this evening, depending on where you are. We want to say thank you, and we want to ask all of you to share the show as we embark on another thought provocative and stimulating show today. We are asking audit, war, economic crimes court, or both. What are your priority? What is your priority? In terms of what do you want the new president to just start on? What is your priority? What would you prefer? Will you prefer the new president, to start on auditing for the sake of peace, and tranquility and fairness, or do you want the economic crimes court or war economic crimes court for the purpose of administering justice, accountability, and good governance? What will you want? Do you prefer just audit first, or just war economic crimes court, so they can start at fresh? They can start on a level playing field, wherein the new president will start corruption-free, with no fear of corruption or economic crimes, so that way the new president will start with no issue at all. Or do you want a new president to forget about this whole idea of war economic crimes court and just focus on auditing, making sure that they get the proper documentation when it comes to transition, when it comes to turnover, when it comes to people working together for one Liberia? What is your what do you want? What is your plan? What do you think? What do you want to see? Do you want to see war economic crimes court, or you want to see audit? We want to take this time to say thank you to all of you for just joining us. But maybe, sometimes our people, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, they will have negative to say about you. So Joseph Boakai, the president-elect, I think he is sitting right now with both ears wide open to see which direction Liberian people want him to take them. In as much as he was elected as the president, I believe he cares about the Liberian people. He cares about what the Liberian people want. So we want to encourage everybody to share the show, because the conversation today, I know it's going to be very, very intense.
Indeed.
One thing I do know, whether you supported Joseph Boakai or you did not support him, the fact that he is elected by the majority of the voters, he is our president. That is first and foremost. Second of all, those who voted for or against Joseph Boakai, majority of Liberians want to see war and economic crimes court. Majority. And better yet, those who actually supported Joseph Boakai, that voted for him, they want to see the outgoing government being audited. In majority of them, they won't see that. So these things are very, very, very key, very paramount to the success of Joseph Boakai. Because Liberian people want to see these things. But at least if you have 10 things, if you have more than one thing, you must have a priority. You got to prioritize one. So which one is your priority, my people? Audit or war and economic crimes court? Or you want both? You want Joseph Boakai to chew gum and work at the same time? You want him to multitask, making sure that they do the audit at the same time, have war and economic crimes court to kickstart his government, to give him a fresh start, to give him a clean government that can start on good note, corruption free. And if we have an audit and then war and economic crimes court,
you come again now.
won't be criminal. They won't be criminals. You'll be afraid. You say, well, they may start thing on a very, very serious note. They may not joking. They may not going to condone any act of corruption. So we ask that you, Liberian people, will call this particular show, this particular video. It's going to go a long way. Because the leaders are sitting right now, ear open. They want to know what the Liberian people, what are you thinking? What are your priorities? What do you want to see the president do first? Do you want Joseph Boakai to start with the audit? Since, in fact, many people, especially those who are Unity Party people who supported Joseph Boakai during the campaign, they said that 2017, that Joseph Boakai did not win the presidency because of Ellen. And they are saying the reason why Ellen did not support Joseph Boakai was for the fear of being audited. That Joseph Boakai was going to prioritize auditing, making sure that transparency ring in the country. So for the fear of being audited, they say Ellen refused to support Joseph Boakai. Now that Joseph Boakai is elected, somebody's inauguration first. Let me help that person. That's true. We say when he becomes president. He cannot become president without the inauguration. He cannot become president without George Weah turning over to him. He cannot order George Weah while George Weah is still president. No. Come on, now, let's be smart now for a second. Those are common sense. There are certain things they call unspoken rules that people you already know, even nobody say it. But again, so we have to be tolerant with everybody. We got to give everybody, you got to answer to everybody so they don't feel ignored. Inauguration first, that's true. But that's what we said after Joseph Boakai is president. That's why we call him now president-elect. After the inauguration, he's going to be called President Joseph Boakai. Is he going to? How would a man even prioritize something without being in power, without having the mantle of authority to decide? So yes, indeed. Somebody say common sense is not common nowadays. Maybe that's true. But again, if you choose audit, to what extent do you want the government to audit? Do you want just the government or George Weah to be audited, or do you want the audit to go all to start all the way back, or maybe start from the current, from the fresh one, and take it all the way to the for, to the early led government? And how do you want this audit to happen? Do you want just to audit the executive, or do you want all three branches of government to be audited? Do you want the justice, the judicial
Yes.
system to be audited? Because if the judiciary is corrupt, whole country is corrupt. Because people are not afraid. They know they will do the wrong thing. They will go to court. They will bribe their way out. Nothing will happen to them. So should the judiciary be audited? Or do you want the legislature to be audited as well? Because they approve all the budget, all the stealing, they approve it. They don't want to be passing money among themselves in the night
Thank you.
and come and make decisions for the Liberian people. So do you want to see the executive of George Weah, the judiciary, and the legislature audited? And if so, to what extent? Do you want to start from top to the bottom or to the bottom up? You want to start from the fresh guys who just leaving power, or you want to start with the older guy, the old crooks? And if you go either way, do you think Joseph Boaga government will be affected one way or the other? There are people that are going to be serving in Joseph Boaga government that work in the previous government or in the current government. At least within one of the branches, one of the three branches of the government, either legislature, judiciary, or executive. So do you want all of those people to be audited? Is that going to slow the progress? Or is that going to slow the governing process of the new government? Oh, no, you know what? It's not going to do anything. You can chew gum and walk at the same time. You can multitask. Do you also want to see War and Economic Crimes Court established so that people that are found guilty, they will have place to go? Or do you want to see just, you don't want to say, you know what, I forgot about World War crime business. Let's do economic crime. There are people on camera admitting stealing from Liberia. There are videos where some leaders admitting to being criminals. Do you want Joseph Boaga to start with audit, war and economic crimes code, or both? Maybe let me get your perspective for a minute, and then we'll go to the line because we're starting the talking today on Liberia. Because today, no, how do you call it? No, no new bulletin today.
I know.
Today is Saturday. No news bulletin today. So we're going to continue this strictly to 8 o'clock.
Thank you.
Let me get a perspective, and then we go to the line and get the Liberian people perspective. Then we will dig deeper because we're going to open the line to the world, not just in Liberia. We want to know what Liberian people are thinking, what they really want to do.
Thank you, Sekou, and in fact, I may say pleasant good evening to all of you, our dear cherry listeners. For those of you that are right there in Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Africa Coast, let me say thank you to all of you. And for our Facebook viewers, also, thank you so much for always running your data to make sure that you follow us. You know, the kind of topic I think is unique, is good. And in fact, I like the way we are putting it to our people, audit, war and economic crimes code, or both? Where do you stand? That's a very, very unique one. So indeed, Sekou, there are a lot of things that our people want, and I think these are some of the major things that they are putting forth before the incoming government, or we call the rescue government. Yes, indeed. So if you ask me for my own views on all the things, uh, then I want to ask you this question quickly before I continue as to if you are doing an audit, maybe that, for example, the past, like for example, from 2006 up to 2017, or maybe from 2018 up to 2023 or 2023. So how long does audit take? Because sometimes, mind you, you are here to rescue the people and you are here to change the life of the people. So how long will the audit take? Because audit sometimes will go for maybe 1 year, 2 years, or maybe 3 years. So with all of that time, we'll be thinking, oh yeah, we or maybe the government is still auditing. So I want you to give a little understanding about the entire audit business as well. How long does audit take?
Um, Actually, for example, if Liberian government, the new government decide to audit, it doesn't stop the government from functioning. When we say you can chew gum and walk at the same time, it means that the audit can be going on, other government activities going on. That cannot stop anything. That's why you have experts, professionals that understand how to run a government. When they decide to do the audit not going to stop the government from functioning. The government can still be functioning, it can audit. In fact, even if they decide to establish war and economic crimes code, that can still be established and government still functions. So it doesn't matter, it doesn't change anything. The only thing, given what we know, Liberia being Liberia, if the War and Economic Crimes Court is contingent upon the approval of the legislator, some of whom could potentially be audited or be, prosecuted, are they going to approve war and economic? And if it's not going to be Liberia, because, for example, if somebody is accused of committing war crime and you want them to be prosecuted outside of Liberia, the president got to sign up for that. So not necessarily some of these things can actually happen. It doesn't have to be in Liberia. But the document has to be signed by the president. And something funny always happens in Liberia. When you talk about war crimes code, not even adding economic crime, once you mention war crimes code, a lot of people look into the direction of Prince Johnson as if Prince Johnson is the only person that committed war crime in Liberia, which is very far from reality. And Prince Johnson, because he's not quiet, because he's kind of noisy, he always let to put himself on the spotlight. So when you talk about war crime code, people always look, to his direction. But it's not Prince Johnson alone who committed war crimes, even though his own happened on camera that the whole world witnessed. But it doesn't mean that Prince Johnson is the only person that committed war crimes in Liberia.
No.
There are a lot of people there. In fact, if you look at the TRC final recommendations, there are names of people who committed war crime. In fact, we have stages, we have categories. of people and crime they committed. So, government, somebody may think, oh, if the government focus on auditing right now, that would take away their focus from development. That would take away from their focus from, going about the promises they made to the Liberian people. No, you can still have a functioning government and stay audit and stay establish war and economic crimes court. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you. Because the reason why I asked the question is because these are some of the things that have been asked behind the scene, especially when it comes to some our people behind the scene that always, in fact, asking us as to which way to go. So indeed, yes. So if you ask me, like you already did. So for me, I will tell you, or before I even go maybe to that, because sometimes there are penalties. We're going to be frank and going to be fair. Sometimes, like for example, if Sekou is accused, or maybe stealing money, or maybe embezzling money, what are some of the penalties? So before you even do an audit that you are talking about, because mind you, the former U.S. ambassador that was here in Liberia, McCarthy, doing his read up, he said that even the legislature, they transfer money in so many places to make sure that, in fact, they benefit money, they benefit in the name of, yes, they are doing this thing for the people. And at the end of the day, some of the money not may come out. Some they probably benefit anything or such. So when you are doing a general audit that you are saying, and I hope and pray that it will be a general audit, because people are not saying it like, oh, it's only the executive. They'll be, no. So if you want to do a general audit, then we'll go back to the former U.S. Ambassador McCarthy, or rather, when he said that indeed, even the legislature, they were not paying an attention to the people. They were also passing money through the budget to make sure that, in fact, that they illegally collect for their own benefit. So now let's go back to where all of these things, for me, I think I will tell you the War and Economic Crimes Court will be the best. Because if you bring the War and Economic Crimes Court, it will not pick and choose. It will not tell you whether, for example, the maybe outgoing government is corrupt or not, or maybe the former United Party-led government, which of course we learned that, in fact, it was 10 times corrupt. So all of these things, how do we come to reality? Only the War and Economic Crimes Court that can bring us to all of these things. But other than that, I think we'll just be going back and forth without maybe no understanding. People will be thinking that maybe people are wanting them just because maybe they are into party A or maybe they are into party B. So for me, I would, yes.
So let me ask you: do you think the CDC government is corrupt? Do you think CDC government is corrupt, and do you think they committed economic crimes?
Oh yes. If you ask me, I will tell you that yes, because the U.S. ambassador said that, and that was
no. I'm talking about, okay. Let's say the executive. Do you think the executive is corrupt from the president now?
Sometimes people's lifestyles alone can tell you as to whether they are corrupt or not.
No,
So
I'm just saying. Do you think they are?
Yes, I can say
you
that.
don't have to be right. Sometimes we don't. We just.
That's the thing.
But do you think they are corrupt?
Yes, indeed, 100%. I can tell you that yes, indeed.
So if many Liberians believe what you believe, then
yes, I believe.
Then they should be audited.
Indeed, 100%.
No doubt.
Yes,
and
indeed.
If what I know, whether War and Economic Crimes Court, we have the laws on the book, whether you have code established or not.
Mm-hmm.
The laws that we currently have, the agencies that we have in place, if they are functioning properly,
Good. I like the word you use. If they
if they
are
are functioning properly,
mm-hmm.
you do not have to have any new court system to prosecute the people. If people are audited and evidence are pointing to individuals or agencies
Mm-hmm.
that are involved or that were involved in corruption, stealing from the Liberian people, you have the process wherein the Anti-Corruption Commission can investigate and recommend prosecution, which happened under this Jowea government, but because Jowea is people they never wanted prosecution because they interfere with the judiciary system, they stopped the process. You remember that Ganta summit, the ministerial, I don't know, they call it ministerial retreat.
Yes.
That was meant to kill the process of prosecuting corrupt government officials. So, war crimes code, no war crimes code. I think priority should be given to auditing. And in so doing,
so the reason
credible people should be appointed to those agencies that are responsible to investigate and recommend prosecution, and also the judiciary system, the Ministry of Justice, and all the courts and the Supreme Court, they should be independent of the president. They should not be controlled by the presidency.
So then
that has been the problem in Liberia.
Thank you.
The laws are there.
Yes.
The laws are there, but they are not functioning properly because of people in leadership. So if the president is interfering, for example, Jeremiah Kun, the incoming vice president, he is allegedly, accused of being one of the corrupt officials along with Thomas Fala.
Indeed.
Okay, let's say investigation is launched, then Thomas Fala is linked to the corruption act, which would potentially trigger down to Jeremiah Kun, who was his principal deputy. Then, if the president
so what do we mean in that case?
Interest lies in his vice president, then that would somehow undermine the independence of the judicial system, because they will get involved because they don't want one of their own to get. So the problem is, if we are ready.
Indeed. So under the War and Economic Crimes Court,
we are ready for justice. If we are ready to make sure that people are responsible for their doing, we have to strengthen the agency that we have. We have to make sure that the laws that are on the board, let's implement those ones first before we can even worry about having a different code. Because you know what? If those laws are implemented properly and they are functional, a lot of things will not happen. Brazilian Mon, welcome, my brother. Welcome to SKTV once again. As always, I know the conversation today, a lot of people are not going to be happy, but I mean, it is what it is. War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia is necessary. But I don't just think that people should always be pointing finger at Prince Johnson as if to say Prince Johnson is the only person that committed war crimes.
Yep.
There are a lot of people in Liberia serving in legislature, serving in the House of Representatives, in the Senate, also as also in executives. Even in the incoming executive, there will be some people there that are accused of committing war crimes. But again, where do we start from, Regina Monk?
Yeah, welcome, Seku. I mean, Melbourne and the rest of the listening audience are always. I know I came a little bit late today, but you just said it all. I was watching the show while driving, and you made a case. You see, we have underground institutions. That's why United Party, that's why Madam Sally put in place the LACC, the GSC, and all these underground institutions that were established in the country. Because when you talk about war crimes code, they got people that in the legislature that be looking for a way to throw monkey wrench because they believe the bureaucracy that is established in bringing a war crime code, they think that they can slow the process. So and you cannot separate an audit from the war and economic crime code. They are one of the same, except one is done on a broader basis as compared to the audit. So if Joseph Boga is really serious about accountability, he will begin an audit while we try to find way around the bureaucracy concerning the war and economic crime code. And even if we push for a referendum from the people, we will do that, like the same way we did with the dual citizenship bill to push to get a momentum going again. Because these guys I know, that's why I'm not too bullish on the whole Bwaka presidency when it comes to accountability. Because he promised us that he was going to dance with the devil to win. And you got to understand that when you dance with the devil also want to get a bottom too. Because when you secure leadership and you secure the executive mansion, there will be a time for you to govern. And in governing, I want to see Joseph Bwaga really taking on. I don't want to believe it, but we will wait to see. Or Joseph Bwaga going against a Jeremiah Cohen or Prince Johnson. I'm really waiting to see what is going to happen. And people talk about going back as far as the Madam Salif administration. So I asked former United Party star, I said, do you want me to believe that Joseph Bwaga will be susceptible to an investigation by investigating himself on his own led administration? Because don't forget, he was number 2 in command for 12 good years under Madam Salif. So he's also part of an audit. If we want to do that, most especially if you say you want to audit this legislature, matter of fact, he was the president of the Senate. So he would be number 1 in line if you want to carry on the real audit. You want me to believe that Joseph Bwaga is going to go that route? But we will see. People say he was elected based on the experience. He's a man with integrity. He built his whole life around integrity. So we get to know finally the kind of medicine Joseph Bwaga can behave himself with when it comes to accountability and using the law to go after criminals. But you asked Melbourne a question initially concerning the executive when it comes to the CDC-led government. They were overly corrupt, but they are hinging, they are betting on the fact that Joseph Bwaga might likely not go for an audit. And he cannot be selective in the audit like we said yesterday. If Joseph Bwaga is going for an audit, he either go full blast or he can shut up. It's there is no gray spot. There is no side in this thing. You either do it or you forget it. That's why I tell people that even support Joseph Bwaga and Unity Party people, you got to lower your expectation because I really want to see. Second, one thing, when you are always saying the truth, you don't have to remember what you said in the past. If you are when a liar have to remember what he said in the past because he's lying. But if you believe in your heart of heart that Joseph Bwaga is going to go for a full-blown audit, that he's going to go after some of the devil that he danced with to secure power, we really want to see that happen. It will be a good thing for Liberia. But for me, I'm taming down my expectation. And I will keep saying it over and over again like a broken record. With this government, with the kind of a games, with the kind of a negotiation that happens behind the scene in Liberian politics, until it can happen before I will believe it. And I told you yesterday, the sources of failure of Joseph Bwaga depends on this issue of accountability because the expectation for him is at the highest peak. People expect a lot from Joseph Bwaga. So Joseph Bwaga will have to be juggling a lot of things in his first 6 to 9 months. Whether it's about the economy, whether it's about accountability, he will have to go full blast. But for me, like I said, I'm not going deep on that. I'm not betting on that because I know for sure there were some deals that were made. There are people that on the other side, because you cannot go for CDC government leader Jeremiah Cohn. I tell people, when people go to vote, they always like to put their emotion over the common sense. You knew Jeremiah Cohn was paddling with a bunch of sedition. He was on the Ways and Means Committee. He worked with Thomas Fowler. Why make you think if you're going for an audit, Jeremiah Cohn won't be in the dragnet? He's going to be one of the major players when you talk about accountability. Because if you cannot go after Jeremiah Cohn, people that control the budget, that grab the budget, and the budget, the largest instrument in the entire bureaucracy. If you're going to skip Jeremiah Cohn, then You cannot make the case for accountability. Then it means George
and I'm sorry to cut you off or to interrupt you. Prince Johnson, who is the godfather, who is the mentor and father of Jeremiah Kun, is on record saying that Jeremiah Kun is a criminal, he's corrupt.
Okay.
So I mean, if you're going to have an audit or have anything going on, Prince Johnson is on camera stating that we have the audio is there. We have played on here many times. I still have it. But he's saying that Jeremiah Kun is corrupt, and the reason that he accused Jeremiah Kun of being corrupt because he said Jeremiah Kun worked with Thomas Fala and how they corrupted the country, how they stole the country money. He talked about all of that. So it's going to be hard for the CDC, for the Unity Party government to carry on this whole corruption. Like people were saying in Liberia, that it's hard to, you can't live in a glass house
and throw stones.
Because you might as well be the victim. So how do we go about this whole auditing in war and economic crime school without putting your own foot in your mouth? Steve, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Good afternoon, good evening to all. Those of you watching us on the radio in Liberia, those of you listening to us on the radio in Liberia, we say thank you so much for joining SKTV this afternoon, this morning, wherever you're following us from. Thank you so much. To our listening viewers, we say thank you. As always, Liberian people are the most important people on earth. And most importantly, the Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. Mr. Kane, I've been following the conversation. Carefully, thoroughly, and I've listened to different inputs. I have a different view and a different version when the opportunities are afforded to me to speak on this topic, but it's back to you when you're ready for me to speak on this issue.
Okay, I think Mong was saying something. I interrupted him. Mong, you want to finish what you were saying before we go to Steve? Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah. You want to finish what you were saying before we go to Steve?
Oh yeah, I was just concluding. So I made a case that you can throw monkey wrench into the war's economic crime code, but the whole idea of an audit is a must for Joseph Boakai. There will be no compromise because that's why Joseph Boakai was elected on. That was the premise. It was the number one premise. He was going to go after the Weah-led government for corruption and abuse. And he's the one with the most experience. That's why Joseph Boakai came to power on those two. So there is no way, even if you want to play games with the Liberian people by saying, okay, we can say, okay, the lawmakers must decide we got to get so and so vote to go after a war and economic crime code. But with the order, you cannot say that because institutions are already set in place. All you need to do, you just need to empower them to start the process. And Sekou, we keep saying it. Joseph Boakai's success of failure hinges on the idea of accountability and going for a full-blown audit. Joseph Boakai, there is no escape route in this one. He either go full blast or he forget about it. And when he go, if he play dead to forget about going for an audit, people will consider his administration a failure. It will be dead on arrival. And now, if you want to go for an audit, you cannot be selective. You cannot cherry pick. You got to go, whether the president is on your side, on the opposite side. So when it comes to the audit, I mean, you cannot make an excuse for that. The laws are in place. The institutions are there, so he can kick the can down the road. Maybe he can play that game with one economic crime code, but people will demand for that. Either the matter of fact is determined. They got some challenges from an economic standpoint. They got some things they were put in place. But with an audit, nobody going to get Joseph Boakai a pat on the back for audit because the expectation for him is very high on the issue of an audit, especially for the Weah administration.
So Steve?
Yes, Mr. Kane.
Back to you. I mean, what's going on, man? What's going on? Where do we start from?
Well, truly speaking, let me say this for one of the very first time. I think these are some of the things that President George Weah saw, and he rushed to concede. Like we can say in Labrador, nobody's stupid here. No, the tax ahead is enormous, very big, it's gigantic, and so forth. So if you were thinking that President George Weah is a fool or he doesn't know what's going on, you're wasting your time. This is pre-calculated and premeditated. The Joseph Yuma Boaga's administration raised expectations, and they raised the bar so high to the point that even some of the supporters, part of I've been studying the moves, part of I can deduce today that part of the reasons they're mad is because they are afraid of some of the facts that they have to face. So they're still behaving as though they're in campaign mood so that they can evade the reality. But the reality is they cannot evade the fact that the task ahead is big. And it's not a small thing. Let me give you a typical example before I even come to the auditing or whatever it is, because this will tie into the auditing. The most recent hero, Amara Kone. This is what he writes on his Facebook page. Amara Kone has been hailed, applauded, and exalted to some extent by Unity Party partisans and Joseph Yuma Boaga supporters. This is what he writes. The total overdue and pending debt payments is US 29.7 million. US 26.4 million is due in December. So next month, Liberia is supposed to pay 26.4 million. You're listening, my people. External debt is that one of the internal debt. The external debt is 17.58 million, and the domestic debt is 12.21 million. And he says there, tough road for the new administration. Manage your expectations. I want to say to Amara Kone, that's a good warning or so forth. Unfortunately, you are already in the middle of it. You accepted the conceding. You celebrated the victory. You went yesterday to try the thing over. Everybody is excited. We are looking forward to be rescued as a nation.
Thank you.
The first place we need to start from. And I said it here, Sekou and other people bash me. They went after me. They attacked me. Sekou vehemently disagree with me. The first the first rule appointed.
Oh, we don't attack you. We're just encouraging you.
My man, you attack me.
Maybe let him flow before he loses his thought of.
The first thing I said here was the Unity Party need to slow down with the expectations. Because we were studying some of these things from behind closed doors. The second thing I said here was the economic challenges would be high. So Joseph Boaga needed not to come to the public and tell the public that in the first 90 days, he would be able to face the role that no car will stick in the mud. That was not a realistic goal because of the economic challenges that they are meeting. These are facts. I said we owe, our debt is almost 2 billion. And government is continuity. That means Unity Party will have to pay whatever debt that is left there. Now, I recommend that the Unity Party administration that will be taking over by the end of January starts this ball rolling by ensuring that they tell the Liberian people how much they made there, what they made there based on audit, not speculations. That's why yesterday I told the what they call team, the transitional team, we now want no dry door story. You tell all what the people told you. We now want what happened between CDC and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. You tell how much you made there, what they told you, what they gave you, and what they think. Oh, we now want 1 minute. I can't come out and say we gave you 5 million. Then you didn't come out later on and say, oh no. That only 500,000 we made there. No, we don't want that one. So, Mr. Kane, I would say I will encourage the Unity Party-led government to start with an audit of all government sectors, the administrative, the judiciary, all three branches, and the legislature. It's critically important that they bring these different audits. If they choose to go back to the past early administration for 12 years, it is their prerogative. We don't have a problem with that. In fact, that will show the credibility of Joseph Yuma Boaga because he has nothing to hide. So he will allow himself to be audited. However, if they say they will not go that route because they don't want to bring us in the town or for security reasons, they just want to focus on the real-led government for 12 years. Then No, we can still work with them. Let them audit all three branches of government. My only appeal to them is this: they should not make the audit Benin low letter witch hunt, or they should not make it wishy-washy. They shouldn't, to decide to go one place and go after one group of people or one person, then it will look funny. I'm begging them, let them audit all three branches of government. And I will say, they can go back to Ellen 12. There's nothing wrong with it. They are in charge now. They told the United, remember, they campaigned also that the United Party, the CDC, did not audit the United Party, and the CDC making muff. The CDC, there was nothing wrong. They turn over this, they turn over that. It is time for them to prove the CDC-led government wrong, hold them accountable, audit them, then bring an audit report. In fact, the audit report from NOCA, it's reported that audit report is still with President John Weah. This is a perfect opportunity to have it and push it to the Labyrinth pool. Let us know what's going on. But Mr. Kane, I'll start there for now. But
I want to follow up, Sekou. Steve, with the point you just made.
Go ahead, man.
During the election, there's why we told people from the beginning, because we saw the day of governance that were coming. There's one thing to be on the campaign trail, and then the reality is about governance. That is why we told people going back to the Unity Party was not even in the best interest of Liberia, in as much as he wanted to get rid of George Weah. Because what Amara Corner is showing out there now, he's talking about financing the existing debt. But you look at the overall debt. The overall debt cascaded from Unity Party to CDC. If you look at close to $2 billion in debt, back in the day when Madam Sally first came to power, they had a HIPIC initiative where they say our total debt were almost close to $4 billion. And the work that HIPIC initiated throughout the first term of Madam Sali's administration. So by the time we got to the second term, it was almost like it was waived, technically, at the term they will use. They waive our debt. But you call it, so why the debt was being waived, we're building on new debt. Now, Amara Conan looking at the challenges and what they will inherit. He knows he's a former finance minister. He had a couple of budget shortfall. He knows the debt that Unity Party incurred before even turning the government over to CDC. So if you want to talk about audit, there is no way you can separate the two. So CDC just made the debt worse as compared to the previous administration, but it came from Unity Party also to CDC. That one that I'm talking about, you're looking at the debt now in totality. So there is no way you can escape an audit. Like I said, Joseph Boaka's success or failure hinges on accountability. Anything less than accountability, that will be the end of the administration. Without talking about who next. That what will be happening in Liberian politics. Because if you dash expectation and people believe that this man cannot meet the bare minimum, because he has built himself the name and reputation that he's Mr. Clean Hands and Mr. Accountability. If he starts showing signal of doing the opposite, I gave you within 6 months time, man. The feeling in Liberia and the expectation, it will be something else. It will be total chaos.
So, Mr. Kane, let me say that I know you guys my recommendation is to start from the auditing, right? But in terms of the issue of justice and whether it's war and economic crime court or whether it's, dispensing justice or whatever it is, Prince Johnson made a recommendation, which was read here on 2FM, that they should establish a commission to look into, all of the murders, the disappearances, and other things that occurred.
Where's that not coming from? From your aunt, Steve?
I think from my back here.
Okay.
From my back here. Let me turn it on.
No, it's okay.
So
it's quiet now.
So Prince Johnson brought this up, right? Let me say this. Let me be on record. I want to agree with Prince Johnson for the first time, openly, that there should be a commission to look into, the human atrocity or things that went on, right? Allegedly crimes that were committed, right? Let me agree with Prince Johnson. But I want to push the Unity Party-led government forward, because we are not going to just sit here and not speak for the Unity Party government. We'll play the devil advocate. To give a first lift to the Unity Party-led government, let's push it further. Let's not make this thing just a witch hunt to restrict it to one administration. Jerome Verdia, who was the chief in charge, the big man for the TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, Jerome Verdia supported Joseph Yuma Boakai in these elections. So it is incumbent upon Joseph Yuma Boakai, and we said on this show that Joseph Yuma Boaka, we do have records and facts that Joseph Yuma Boaka was linked to Lofa Defense Force. They said, no, Joseph Boaka was not small, so they know for war. Okay, we agree. This is time now for Joseph Boaka to tell the Liberian people that he was never in war business. He never supported model like what the guy represented. Alleges that President John Weah supported him. Let them push it forward to bring the war and establish the one economic crimes court so that we don't leave it on, because this is legislated. This is something that it can be done easily. The American government and other people are willing to support our cause to dispense justice. So let's do those two things, because we can walk and chew gum. Let's rescue this country here. Look, it's part of the rescuing issue. It's not just the eating every day or low rest press down or other things. Justice across the nation. Look, President John Weah set a very, 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 very good record by putting Liberia on the map in terms of democracy. I agree with that. By conceding, I agree with him. So let's take a photo and say Liberia has broken another history by finally holding war perpetrators accountable. You have Bon Nigga who say he agreed to war economic crime code. You have Prince Johnson who say he agreed to war. So what? We got a better,
right? I know.
Okay, so I want to say thank you to all of you for following, and those of you who have shared the show, please go ahead and share again. If you haven't shared, you got to share and share. Because you know what? We want this message to go to the president-elect, Joseph Numa Boakai, if he's not already watching, but his able lieutenants are watching or they are listening to us. They are watching, they are listening. They are listening to all Truth FM 96.1. You know, right now, we are being monitored and listened to in the entire Liberia, in the entire country. Truth FM covers the entire country, going all the way to the border of Africa to Danane, going all the way to Guinea, to Bosu. So don't just mind what you see on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. Whether you're watching Facebook, SKTV, or SKTV Live, don't mind that. You have thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that are listening to you here. What we say here matters a lot. Let me say this. It seems like the auditing should be the key here. It looks like audit could lead to thorough investigation, prosecution, and punishment. Because if you audit, definitely that will cover the economic crime aspect. And if that is going to be the case, if you're going to start auditing, first of all, my concern would be, who are the credible people that you're going to appoint to audit? Who's going to audit who? Who are the credible hands that you're going to give them the responsibility to audit who? Liberia, it seems like everybody in Liberia is corrupt. And I'm not saying they are, but it seems like. But because of that, not too many people to trust. If you open, let's say we appoint people who are protege of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, you think they will do anything that will shine light on criminal activities and corruption under Ellen government? Or if you appoint people that benefited from the CDC government, that are stooges of George Weah, you think they will go and expose George Weah and George Weah government to indict them or to prosecute them? Almost everybody somehow linked to somebody, and because of that, their credibility is not all that. For example, Jerome video we're talking about right now, Jerome video is on camera here on SKTV saying that Prince Johnson will not run because he has a war crown. He said Vani Sherman will not run. He said McGill, Beatoye, those who were sanctioned by the United States, that they were not wrong. In fact, he has serious problem with Prince Johnson. But guess what? He ended up endorsing Joseph Nyima Boakai with Prince Johnson, Jeremiah Kun, and all the corruption king Kong, all the killers, murderers supporting. He joined the bandwagon of Joseph Nyima Boakai with all the people that he think are the bad people for Liberia. Is he stay credible? Can you stay count on him? Can people like Jerome Verdier, who was the chairman of Truth and Reconciliation Commissions in Liberia, can he be trusted to prosecute the group he supported? So it's tough. Look at the setting. Just minus CPP. Just go and look at Unity Party and CDC, the composition. Those that supported them, those that served in their government. From Ellen herself, according to TRC, Ellen was not qualified to run. According to TRC final report and recommendation. So, in Liberia, when they started talking about this whole war and economic crimes code in the earlier stage of we are government, I was on record. I said, I am not a part of that thing. I said, because I don't trust anybody. I said, the reason why all these people are trumpeting the idea of war and economic crimes code because they are not in power. I said, when Ellen government was in power, George Weah and CDC, they were crying war and economic crime code every day, toasting casket around that they want war and economic crimes code. But because Prince Johnson and other warlords supported them, they let go of the idea of war and economic crime. It was no longer their priorities. They started to flip-flop on it. And I said, all the people that are talking about war and economic crime code, they're all doing it for political expediency. They're all doing it to make the other government to look bad. But there's no sincerity or genuine quest to say, you know what? We really want to see peace and justice in Liberia. I said, the minute I see that, I will support the process. And I was also on record for recognizing Emmanuel Savage and the organization they have, calling for peace, calling for justice, calling for war and economic crimes code in Liberia. But who you can trust? That's the question. Who is actually genuine about this? Who really wants justice? All of these things are politically motivated because somebody want to get at somebody else's throat. Somebody want to make other person unpopular. Somebody want to distract other person. But there's no genuine and there's no seriousness in the people. So, Steve, everything starts with a trust. Who can we trust to actually take this thing seriously and do what is right for Liberia that is free of political expediency, that they are doing it freely and squarely to see justice prevail in Liberia?
Mr. Kane, let me pounce on this question really quick because you raised some very important points that, you know, most of these guys use the issue of justice, accountability as tool. Yet when the opportunity presents itself for them to do what they were crying for, what they They used to pray on our people to get votes. Somebody phone grounding, something back there. They don't maximize. Yeah, it's gone now. It's not, I think it was from Melbourne. So they don't maximize or they don't utilize this opportunity to give what our people want. If you really look at the Liberian people's decision for truth, the Liberian people have always wanted justice and accountability, whether you like it or not. However, let's take it back to CDC. CDC ran on the mantra that they would bring accountability and justice to the Unity Party-led government, and how the government were doing this and how the government were doing that, and sometimes they even pass around and say, "Oh, they care, I know Papi Solo, they care the other person." You know, they pass around with that to appeal to people's sentiments and their emotions. People gravitated towards the CDC-led government, voted for them. They came on, they made all the excuses in the world. They made all the excuses. In fact, they went in bed with people who even committed this atrocity and enabled these people to continue, which we found as problematic. Today, we got the United Party that is re-elected into power after 6 years. Mr. Kennedy, there are still credible Liberians. I don't want to blanketly say there are not credible Liberians. If Joseph Yuma Boakai is serious about the issue of accountability and justice in our country, yes, I would agree that Jerome Verdia and some other people, even including this guy John Molu, they say one thing to be funny, but that's on them, right? The issue here is there are still credible Liberians that live in and out of Liberia. And I believe if they're serious for this quest, it does not have to be even people that are in the government to show neutrality, to show people who are there for the right thing. They can employ, the services of other Liberians who are credible, who have no party interest, who have no, I won't go after Prince Johnson because he's from Nima, I won't go after Job Bole because he's from Grand Jide. People that don't care about that. That don't even care about the politics. That don't even talk about the Liberian politics on a daily basis to come and help with this team that they want to form. So I agree with you. But the issue of justice and accountability cannot be left with them to do it. I'm saying that they will not do it. You watch them. They will play games with this. They will even get some people who supported them because of the hope of justice and accountability, infuriated, pissed off to the point where they will turn against them. And you will see these same people coming back again and going against the same government like they did with the CDC. So we are just in a cycle and a quagmire because these politicians have refused to do what is right. They have refused to adhere to the quest of our people. And this is where we are today. But I can say this to the Unity Party-led government. I can say that to Joseph Yuma Boakai. That's not true. Nobody's stupid here. He is experienced.
Incoming government.
Incoming government. He is experienced. He has no rebel record on him. He has no corruption record on him. In fact, he get wisdom. In fact, he know how to solve the problem. In fact, he get the necessary connection, and he meets the requisite requirement for the position he's in right now. So again, we're not lowering no expectation here. Nobody's stupid here. You'll start passing around the lower expectation issue. Tell America to go sit down somewhere because if he knew that it would show lower expectation, he was not going to jump on a rescue train for them to perpetrate that they were going to rescue the Liberian people. We are here no lower expectation. Our expectation is our expectation. And the thing what they told they will do, that they will do. If they not do it, then that's where our problem will start from.
So yeah, so before I go to Monk, let me just clarify something, some of the concerns raised by some of the followers here, some of the people that are written. Let me be specific. Ms. Datakula, Batonkula, he's saying that whether we saw any communicate or press statement from Joseph Boakai team that they would not have or establish war and economic crimes code. We haven't seen anything. But we are not suggesting that they will not. We are asking the Liberian people, what do they want? Audit, war and economic crimes code, or both? I believe the code of public opinion is very important in politicians' decisions making. I can tell you that. They always go with the people majority of the time. Sometimes they can have their own plan. But if they see that that plan is not popular with the people, they can always make adjustment. And sometimes they have certain things they kind of like put it as a secondary issue. But if that is so paramount and important to the people, they somehow elevate that to the priority list. So the people's opinion is very important. What we are saying here, let's talk about audit and who is going to be audited and how transparent, how efficient this audit is going to be. Is there going to be like some kind of small screen and then just kill it? Or this is going to be actually a real audit? Because if you're going to audit George Weah government, it should not be just the executive. Because a lot of people in their mind, not audit them, the first thing that go on their mind is Weah, the horses he built. That take all the horses from him. Samuel Tuer, even finance minister, if he's stealing a lot of money, that audit Samuel Tuer. That audit Thomas Fala, all the university he built, all the things that he did. No. They think, just as so many proponents of World Economic Crime Code, when you mention that their mind can run on Prince Johnson, as if Prince Johnson is the only person that committed World Economic Crimes Code in Liberia. I mean, economic crimes in Liberia. So, forgetting to know that when you talk about auditing, you're going to audit the entire government, the executive, the legislature, the judiciary. So, if that happens, the ways and means of the Liberian House of Representatives, led by Thomas Fala and Jeremiah Kun, they will be audited.
Most definitely.
Also, the Liberian Senate, even the corruption that they did, the money that they took, that they admitted on camera that they took money from George Weah government to impeach Justice Kabina Janet, they too will be audited. Audit does not only mean money alone, the way you do things, whether you did it fairly, whether you follow the laws of the country, whether you respected the Constitution, whether there were no constitutions or constitution violation, whether you did what is right. It's like you are just opening yourself to the next person. This is what I did. And this is how we did it. Turn it over to them. They see no problem, no fault, declare. So when you calling for audit, don't think say we're not going to call it the executive or George Weah and Samuel Tuer or Magay. In fact, in a country where Magay sanctioned, Betuawe sanctioned, Magay got more votes than any other person that ran for Senate in Liberia. When you look at the percentage why. So, if you go by the bureaucratic aspect, like Mo mentioned earlier, to say, you know what, let's go with this whole idea of TRC recommendations that is predicated upon the approval of the legislature, we're not going to have any war economic crime court in Liberia. This audit can lead to real administration of justice in Liberia. Because you know what? The laws are already on the book. All you need to do, implement the laws that you have. Have the agency functional to the fullest. There are a lot of agencies in Liberia, they're just there. As a matter. They're just taking money, collecting money, but they are not functioning. They are not doing anything. And also, they are not independent. So, if you want to see justice in Liberia, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you strengthen those agencies that are responsible to checkmate government officials. The Anti-Corruption Commission, they went to work and they investigated some government official ministers, and they were on record. After the investigation, they recommended prosecution. George Weah and people, when they have meeting called ministerial retreat in Ganta, Nimba County, they went, they killed it. Those documents stay there. You know what they did? They fire all the people there indirectly. They say, oh, you know, we're going to release everybody, but the people then that are getting released, they are free to reapply. To them, they are smarter. Everybody in Liberia, we are all stupid. That was done purposely to kill that investigation and prosecution. And the document was forwarded to Musa Dean, the current justice minister. Nobody was prosecuted. What about the drugs that came into the country? 100 million worth of drugs came into Liberia. The people were free. They were acquitted. No proper investigation. The government could not even prove their own case, even though they said they were tapped. They were given information by the United States of America to prosecute those people. But yet they could not prove their case in court. Because why? Big hands are behind it. So we talk about auditing, we talk about auditing investigation. It doesn't start and end with only George Weah and few ministers. It goes all the way to the judiciary and to the representatives in the Senate. They are corrupt. But then, if you say, okay, let's do that, let's go across the board, then they will do, you know what? One thing led to another. We can't just investigate and prosecute this government without looking at the previous government, at least the last 5 years. Where there's statute of limitation, you can work on that. But where there's no statute of limitation, people should be investigated and prosecuted. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Because I don't trust anybody. I don't even trust Joseph Boakai's ability to make decisions. Because that is proven. Joseph Boakai does not have the spine, does not have the balls. I'm sorry to say, he's not strong enough to say, you know what, we're going to do this. We saw it on the way he acted when he took over the leadership of the Unity Party. How everybody just went helter-skelter. How everybody was just going stupid, doing stupid things. They were more paid, the Vani Sherman, all the other guys in the Unity Party, the way they acted against Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the way they destroyed the Unity Party. Unity Party was rejuvenated by the CPP. Unity Party was given life back by the CPP. But before the eyes of Joseph Boakai, he did not show leadership. Similarly, when he became the chairperson of the CPP disintegrated. So he's yet to show leadership. Similarly, when everybody saw that Brani Samuka was convicted by the lower court for economic crime. Joseph Boakai stayed when and allowed the man to run for Senate or Lofa. We said it very clear here. They will be used against him. And that happened. Similarly, after Stephen Witherspoon was convicted and is ready to go to jail for committing federal crime, for defrauding the United States government and the people of the United States, for which he confessed. And now he was convicted, ready to go to jail. Joseph Boakai and his team, they were still proud to identify with this guy, with a criminal on a daily basis, to raise funds for them, to be on salary for them. So when I say I don't trust anybody, I'm looking at your record, your past. Until we can have a different Joseph Boakai, who will now be in bed with criminals, who will not be embracing all criminals and warlords and killers. I can't trust anybody right now. I'm just being serious. It's too soon to criticize Joseph Boakai because we don't know what he's going to do. But based on the past, it's hard to trust anybody at this point because Joseph Boakai will have to show us that he is going to be a different person that he has been throughout because he has not been an actionable leader. So Steve, Maybon, and Brazilian Monk, my question to you, do you think Joseph Boakai will muster the courage to even say, you know what, let's audit all three branches of government and let's go back to audit my government? Because the reason why I was not supported by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was because of my plan to audit her and our administration. Joseph Boakai said we squander a lot of opportunities. The brown people care to know how those opportunities were squandered. I think that would be the best way forward. That would be a good start. And that will kind of reintroduce to us, to Joseph Boakai, that can be our leader, not the one we've been seeing throughout as vice president, as Minister of Agriculture, managing director of LPMC, and the leader of the Unity Party that self-destroyed, and the leader of the CPP, who on camera destroyed the CPP. Let him show us that Joseph Boakai is the real leader. I want to see that. It's a challenge. Some of you party supporters may not like the way I'm talking. They may not like what I'm saying, but this will only help and fix Joseph Boakai and his people. Because you know what? We are challenging you to do good, to do better than you have been. Steve, do you think we're going to have a different Joseph Boakai this time around? Maybe the president could change him.
Yeah, Sarah, go ahead. After Sarah, I will definitely.
Do you guys think? Joseph Boakai will be a different Joseph Boakai? This presidency could change him to be a good leader now, to be somebody who is going to be actionable, who can really, really take action. He will not be sitting there and be controlled by his followers.
You cannot. They say you cannot teach a old dog new tricks. That's just why it is. And past performances are good indicator of future performances. If I'm going to place a bet, I will say on this network, you can record my voice, you can screenshot my comments. George Weah and his gang of criminals are going to walk scot-free. And this is why I think it's going to happen. You see, we are always setting things that are unprecedented in Liberia's history. And Joseph Boakai is one more presented with an opportunity he couldn't have asked for. Joseph Boaga is given opportunity to establish himself as one of the greatest statesmen in the history of Liberia and to vindicate himself and make the case that he's indeed someone of integrity. But there's why it's not going to happen. Our people will always get play in Liberia because they went for a cosmetic change instead of a holistic change, and they will keep getting play. The same way Georgia played the vast majority of sedition, that's how Joseph Boaga is going to play the people of Unity Party and folks that believe in him, that bought into this idea of his presidency. And there is why. Second is common sense. When you know, Liberian people are very good in framing their own narrative. When Madam Salif went and sided with Georgia over Joseph Boaga, it was very unprecedented that a certain party will endorse that number one opponent. Never happened. What the Liberian people said, Madam Salif was afraid of Audit, that Joseph Boaga was going to go after her to destroy her family and put them in jail on the issue of corruption. That was the reason she went to Georgia. When Georgia, before Georgia took office, he said he graded Unity Party almost 80% in terms of performances. So I used to ask the sedition, if Madam Salif for the first time in history is going to dog her own party to support the number one opposition in the country, why make you think in your rational mind that Georgia will go and prosecute Madam Salif? For you guys that believe in audit and accountability. And guess what? It never happened. The moment he became president, the first question he asked, why you guys never call for war and economic crimes called under Madam Salif? That was the excuse. Joseph Boaga is going to do exactly the same. Because when you tell people you must dance with the devil for the sake of consolidating power, then you are most likely to give the devil what the devils want. We told them, Unity Party and CDC are one of the same. Either one you get me other piece. You cannot separate them. They are inseparable. And here's the thing, Sekou. Now, Joseph Boaga, he only got to prove himself to Georgia government, but this myth that the reason Madam Salif endorsed Georgia in the first place was to escape from the crime that she committed. So Joseph Boaga got two opportunities to establish himself as one of the greatest statesmen ever, to go as far as Madam Salif and Georgia government. But here is the deal. When you dance with the devil, you got Jeremiah Cohn. Not only Prince Johnson, but Jeremiah Cohn and Prince Johnson. Now you got a rescue soldier. You want me to believe. And I tell people, I said, the manner in which Georgia conceded is another hint. Because there were deeds that will be made in the background, or there were deeds that were made. What make you think with everything that is going on? Don't forget, I don't know, people got short-term memory in our country. It was the same Jeremiah Cohn. You see, one of the reasons that Edith Gongo supported or Georgia, it was the same Jeremiah Cohn that she accused of rigging election in Nema County that was part of the process to defeat a CPP candidate. I used to ask folks all the time, if you look at Jeremiah Cohn and putting in your ticket as number 2, how do you even make the case that you're in opposition in Liberian politics? But our people know it's all, like I say, it's all about cosmetic changes. It's not about holistic change. This is why you will keep getting play in Liberia. You see, when Amrak, when United Party, I can predict what they will do. All these things they're talking about is a smoke screen. They will tell you that the economic challenges are more of a priority. They will put the whole issue of accountability on hold. That's why they are giving you a hint already, that you have to service the debt, that you have economic challenges, you got to bring up a job. They don't even know what they are going to inherit from CDC level, because you telling me that this is what I got going on in my agency or out of ministry is different from why it's actually there. So maybe the challenges are even much tougher than what we even anticipate. So I'm right now is giving you a hint, you know what? We got better things to do here. We got a lot of economic challenges here. People are looking up to job. People are looking up for to deliver. So if you want the accountability, maybe we might do it later, but we got other priorities. So if you are, like I said, if you got higher expectation for Joseph Boaga, you better put that on hold for now. Because I can tell you, we have seen this script before. We have seen it over and over from Madam Salif Day with a Georgia to a Joseph Boaga. So this idea that Joseph Boaga will audit, going as far as auditing himself, the legislature, and Jeremiah Cohn or Prince Johnson going for war crimes court, it won't happen. That's fantasy. And I can bet Joseph Boaga is not. You see, I don't want to sound like a doomsayer here or to be like an antagonist of Joseph Boaga. I respect the old man. I just know when it comes to governing, it's a whole different thing from campaigning. People make a lot of promises on the campaign trail, but when you enter that Oval Office, it becomes a whole different ball game. The moment you get your first presidential briefing, you know that you are into something different. It's a whole different ballgame. And that's the hint Amaran and others are trying to give you now. Put your expectation down, tame it down, bring it to the lowest because I can bet. If I were to play a bet, I would tell you George Weah and his band of criminals will walk with impunity. They will walk scot-free. You can take it to the bank. Joseph Parker will not go after them because he himself is part of this thing. So if you want to go deep into the rabbit hole to say, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. I don't want to believe until I'm proven wrong. I believe Joseph Parker will not go for a full-blown audit. It won't happen. You just got play again 6 years later. If you already like brain voters.
Well, Brazilian
folks,
Wonk, man. You know what, Steve? Before Steve comes on, I wanted to say something. I really, really want us to open the line in Labrador for this conversation. I know we'll be leaving the radio in about 10 minutes, but
Sure.
go ahead, Steve. Yeah, I wanted to.
What I wanted to say is, I'm drinking so blunt, by the way.
Oh, man.
For those of you who don't know,
you made Melbourne better.
Melbourne, how bottle do? What's going on?
Yeah, Melbourne is drinking Alamo Beta. Alamo Beta, we know what you can do, but we're not discussing it for social reasons. But anyway, folks, you're watching.
I'm talking to this year. Melbourne playing for.
We're here from. We're here for our people from Bahum before I make my contribution. Let's hear from our people from Bahum because we don't have too much time on the radio. I think it is fair.
All right, yeah. Melbourne, open the line, man. Let's hear from a few people. If not, I really wanted to hear from a lot of people today, but the conversation is getting very, very interesting, and people have been getting a lot of feedback. So people are very into this conversation, and it's going to the right direction. Go ahead, Melbourne. Take some few calls.
Yeah, 0778-339-682. That's the number to call. Call again, 0778-339-682 on the Audit, War and Economic Crimes Court or both. Where do you stand? That's the discussion right here on the program, the SKTV, right on Truth FM 96.1. Call in now, 0778-339-682. That goes straight to the issues, vote or confrontation. Forget about how maybe other people or maybe opinion or so forth. Let me see. People are calling me on line 2 where I'm calling line 1. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, hello, go ahead. Your name and where you are.
My name is Samuka Benete. I'm calling from Brussels.
Go ahead, Samuka.
You know the issue. Seku, I don't know what to say, but Seku, you're talking about, you're talking about Joseph lying with criminal, lying with one law, all that stuff. Seku, you're talking the city. Musa Benete have been bound for FIFA. You also got rule for money penny. Then you guys say that on the road, then you talk about somebody lying with one or two people. No, they really need to be careful how to dress in this issue.
So I always say you should prosecute.
No, it's okay, maybe let me talk. Let me talk. Don't interrupt me. Let me say whatever you want to say.
He's still off the line. 0778-339-682. That's the number to call. Sorry that the microphone was off until when we were calling the number. But 0778-339-682 for those of you that follow us on the radio. Today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, neighbor.
Yeah, my brother, go ahead. Your name and from where you join us.
Thank you, Chief. And let me say good evening to Seku, Stevie, and others. The name is William Colby, and I joined this conversation from this city. You see, let me say this. Ambassador Walker's government is not going to be a dictatorial regime. It's going to act in accordance with the people saying or the approval of the Liberian people. We, that own ground are protecting, is going to act in accordance with our word. We are saying we want this government to be audited. And this is what, based upon the traditional team alone that the women set up, they gave me the hope and aspiration that today is ready to audit this particular regime. Because look at you, the economy now is very, the economy now is challenged under this regime, right? They get this stress. So if you will see the women traditional team, you will see the former finance minister on that team. That is, so we have to look at the economy, the state of the economy under this government. You have to select a man, former finance minister,
hello.
So, yeah, hello?
One of the finance ministers just told you that you should lower your expectation.
Yeah, the expectation now is that people will want to politicize or bring forth
Oh,
Yeah.
ah,
They do. They want it.
yeah, they're not the no, they
So they always trying to give you an excuse that the brother don't want it. No, we want it. So yeah, go ahead, take the next caller.
Yeah, go ahead, Chief. I guess this is Emmanuel Sandon, one of the indeed, and you, in fact, I don't even know about Seku. I feel we got to give you always sticking straight to the issue for the confrontation. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Where he came from, when you know, party of the president, I will agree that when you order about government, if our government find guilty, every building that they are building, let it be used for public use. If not, they might go so personal, this man attack, they don't go for the issue, they don't go to the law of Liberia, they might go attack because you see, some people, you see that corruption money, they take the only public corrupt, no, they don't go back to the law. So I agree with you, see that.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Called me after the show, and because the deputy speaker, Honorable Fanali Kofa, built some buildings, and you further intend that over to the government also. So today's caller, good evening. Hello, Mama. How you doing? Okay, we're good. Your name and from where you join us?
Yeah, my name is Henry. I'm calling from Brooklyn. Yes, let me you talking about Seto. What Seto has to do
Hello.
Let her talk. You always get put them to talk, then you can respond to them. Let her talk. Let hear her. You know, you got to know how these people are thinking. Okay. See, that's what the person wants. So that's fine. Just take the next caller.
All right. So today's caller, good evening.
Always give them chance to speak.
Go ahead.
Frankly, thank you for your topic on our discussion. Firstly, I want to thank the network for providing this opportunity. Let me just go to the point. About the brother, you do audit these people because according to the campaign message, he said that he is going to audit all the past officials, all the officials. Maybe he came back to the sort of weird statement in 2017 after he won the election. He said that Liberians were not going to be a spectator to their economies, but we are after the stadium. We're not even a spectator, but also. So the ambassador brother, we're not audit those people, then we're not forcing, but thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. We'll take one or two more calls and cross over to Steve, Seku, and Adam Monk. Today's caller, good evening.
Hello?
Got you, go ahead. Your name and from where you join us? Yeah, go ahead, boss.
Yeah, I didn't want to say you guys are already up to one. I know the public for you guys. The public is for basic audit and all the things that have been done, all the people. Our national government have been rigged.
So the question being asked about, yeah, so. All right, thank you so much. This caller will be our last caller. They'll cross over to the team. Hello?
Yeah. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, Chigua, your name and from where you join us?
Joining you from Johnsonville. My name is Norris Ogo Sharif. The issue of audit is not all about auditing the past government in the present. So if anyone who say they will audit the past union party government, they are easy. Because the fight is the current government graded the past company 80%, 80 to 85%. So if you are grading the past company 80 to 85%, then the people who are on the other side asking for audit of the past company, they are not serious-minded people. So we need to forget about it and do our job.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Steve, Sekou, and Mark, you just listen to Liberians.
Yeah,
Giving
maybe are we going to get, as the studio, are we going to get a few more minutes so we can get some calls too from the diaspora while Liberian people are listening?
Yeah, maybe we can give you 5 minutes at least. Or maybe
come on now. Maybe like 10 or 15 minutes. So let's take some call from Liberia. I mean, from outside of Liberia. So the Liberian people want to listen to other people how they're thinking about please, we're just appealing. Today Saturday now. So let me take the first caller here. Caller 404 number, last 4 digit 8650. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Aaron Paul. I'm calling from Georgia.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, speaking with Steve, how you guys doing? Thanks for the topic on the discussion. Look, let me just say this. I'm a strong supporter of the president. Okay, so I'm gonna just put it out there before I say something about this. Now we hear, everybody supporters say, oh, I just listened to the caller before the last caller saying, oh, it's Liberian people say they want war economic ground code here, stuff like that. President, we have said the same thing. President, we have said this decision is with the Liberian people. What you guys want? You guys want us to take the route to development, or you guys want us to bring war and economic ground code? And they were like, oh, bring war and economic ground code. So they have some of the same perpetrators on their side now. So now they say that the Liberian people are asking for it. It's not a fair game. It's not a fair game. When it comes to audit, look, it's not any question. Even in the great United States where we live, every time the government is turning over, the previous government got to be audited. You got to do that to know what's coming in, and what you're inheriting. You got to do that. Every government will audit it. When they audit it comprehensively, I won't say that. They didn't do a forensic audit. I wouldn't say that either. So, these are the kind of things you got to look at when it comes to audit. What kind of audit you want to do? You understand what I'm saying? So, everywhere, when government leaving power, if incoming government for the audit there. Because you got to know you can't just walk into a house, knowing what you're walking into.
All right, thank you, my brother.
Yeah, they want to audit. So, thank you guys for the topic of the discussion.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution. So keep your calls coming in. A lot of people calling the same number. If the other number is not going through, call the other one. You can't keep calling the same number while the other person talking. We can't cut them off. So if you try, that's why we have both numbers here. Okay, this person is calling back. Caller, what is your name on the WhatsApp line? What is your name and where are you calling from?
Salam alaikum, this is Mark calling from Sweden.
Mike from Sweden. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. How are you?
Greetings to you and the team, and greetings to Brother Mong and Brother Steve for the excellent job you were doing. Brother Sego, I just want to say that the Liberian people have set a new precedent, and that precedent is that first 2-3 years in office, if they don't see a light in the tunnel, that means to say you not deserve to be promoted to the next class. And I hope Liberian will continue on this particular path. That any government that come to power, before they give you promotion to go to the next class or to give you a second term, they should see that the first 3 years of office, that means to say you are doing the job of the Liberian people, the good people, or else they give you a one-way ticket out and you do not return. So that's what I want to say. And I hope we continue like this. Every time we elect a government, we cannot just continue giving 2 years. The first 4 years, if we don't see no light in the tunnel, that means you cannot be promoted to the next class. Thank you, Brother Siku, and thank you to the team.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution as well. Yeah, so keep your calls coming in. For some reason, only one line going through, but try both lines. I'm not sure what Steve and Melbourne did to our line there, but I always put the blame on them. But yes, I want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV. I want to encourage you to continue to support SKTV. Without we saying anything, two people actually supported us today. Somebody sent $15. Somebody sent $50 to. They say I shouldn't call their name. I want to say tell them thank you for supporting SKTV. And don't forget, we are still, asking for people to support Nolai Kamara. We've been doing it for the past 2 days. Today is the third day. We want to make, something good on the first day. That was around $300, but up to now we barely hitting 500. That is discouraging. Please help. This guy, the medical thing, what we need is about $10,000. They only had $2,000 when they came here. So some people been actually calling directly, maybe supporting directly through the sister. But SKTV it's not been so much. The highest donor up to today's date was Ben Savio, who donated $200. Since then, it has been very slow. Please, my people, your support. Let me take this caller right here. 217 number. What is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Remelia.
Remelia, how are you? And welcome to SKTV.
Thank you. The topic on our discussion right now, what I would like to say is that I'm not expecting the Unity Party to audit the WEA government because they are of the same system, the old system. Joseph Walker has been in the system for how many years? 40-something years. I do not expect him to audit because that's the system they created for the Liberian people. This is some of the reason why. This is the reason why some of us were supporting Kumis, because we know if Kumis are going to come to power, nobody got nothing on him. He was surely going to audit. So I'm not expecting him to audit the WEA government. If he do it, well, kudos, thank God.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Monk and Steve, since we already gone over 8 minutes, let's get our perspective on what we have heard so far. So, listening to the callers, people already started giving excuses. The Liberian people didn't ask for war and economic crimes code. Is that something you expect to hear from Joseph Boakai government and Joseph Boakai himself to say, well, Liberian people want to prioritize, economic, want to prioritize. Yeah, so I'm trying to mute Monk while we're making that noise in the background. So yeah, so do you think this gonna be the MO for the Boakai government to find excuses that Liberian people, this is not what Liberian people want. We want to prioritize the economy, we want to prioritize, infrastructure development, we want to prioritize private sector development. We don't care about this whole auditing or war economic crimes code right now. Is that going to be the MO, the modus operandi for the government? Monk, if I mute you, it means that there was a lot of noise coming on the background. When you are sitting together, you can unmute yourself. So on the radio, you can cry and people hear.
Monk, you want to go?
Well, they got a diehard supporters everywhere. For them, their political leader or their political party come before the interest of the country.
All right, let me. You know what? Let me take this call from all the way France. I don't know who that person is, but let's take that call so we can go ahead. Yeah, caller. What is your name and where you calling from? I think from France, I believe. Hello.
Ibrahim Barry, sir.
Who?
Ibrahim Barry.
No, I think you're calling the wrong number.
Who is on the line?
No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong number. That's from Paris. The person said want to talk to Ibrahim Barry. This is SKTV. This is not Ibrahim Barry. Sekou Dukle, are you there?
Yes, sir, boss.
Yeah, quickly. What do you think? War, audit or war economic crime code or both?
We need all. Better, we'll see better Liberia. We getting straight here.
You think it's possible?
Impossible. This is why we brought the old man to power. If he can't do it, if he have all the people around him, if he can't do the work, then I mean, you only go just and keep him for long too. We just do the same thing like the way we treated the other man, like Donald Trump. We treat him the same way too.
But Joseph Baga is not going to go for any second round. Joseph Baga, so whatever happened in the first round happened. So whatever I used to you're not keeping the man not going to run for second round. Okay. You impeach the man?
No, what happened if the work we impeach just have done the lawmaker can impeach president. We want to do it. We want to do it. Joe, we have talking about people bribing too much. Joe, we have government or corrupt, so they're not even impeaching. But any government plan you can do the Macron work, we impeach you. We're not going to be waiting. Time going. Time not waiting for us. So if we got a government, we say we tell the old man to come and deliver. If some warlord was supporting you to not go to court, that's not going to work. We have to make the system work for everybody. We have to get our country to be secure. But if you keep all bad people around and you don't want the other people to go steal money, you don't want to audit them, then what kind of leadership we got? If people will just do anything to go free, because you want to 75 people, you don't want to do the right job, we're not going to take that. The old man has to bring people to book. Those are still government money. Instead of spending money to build road, instead of spending money to bring water to school, we into giving school water, safe drinking water. Some of the schools don't even have pipe water. We're still setting up politics. If government you can't solve all the problems, and you sit down there for 6 years, you can't do anything, we will be on your back. The first 3 years, we start talking about impeachment.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wait, talk about waiting for us, Sekou. Let me tell you, every day you wake up, if you're on this eye, you're getting older. You're not getting young. If you're baby, your age adding up. If you're big man, your age adding up. You're not going to get younger. So if you get an opportunity to do a parental job, massive turnout was made in the election. We want to say, Walker, he's an honest man, he's this, he's that. So when we come there, we're not going to compromise nothing. We want betterment of Liberia. So come serve the people the right way. No corruption. Right. Get the criminal out of the country, put them somewhere, the same way they send Tina somewhere. They have to go this justice. So our country can be peaceful, investing and coming and invest. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we going to be leaving the radio in a few minutes. So Steve and Monk, what do you guys think so far, man? About based on what you have heard from the callers.
I mean, you got to expect mixed reaction, but the vast majority of Unity Party people are the supporter of Joseph Boakai. They've elected Joseph Boakai because they think that he will come as a new sheriff intern to clean house. That was the reason they voted Joseph Boakai. But apparently, the dust is settling, and some of them can see the prospect of that not happening, so they are trying to change course. But that was the reason. Joseph Boakai was elected on two premises: that he's the most experienced with all the solutions to Liberia's problem, and he's Mr. Accountability and Mr. Clean Hand that could come and wreak havoc on criminals in the entire Georgia cartel, even going by as far as Madam Salif's administration. But I will tell you that I took a bet, and I would take a bet it won't happen. If you're a Unity Party supporter, or if you're someone that believes in Joseph Boakai presidency, it will not happen. If Joseph Boakai will execute that, be the one to call me on the show, call my name, and I will take that responsibility. I will apologize to you openly. But based on what I'm seeing, knowing what happened behind the scenes in terms of deals and some of the how they call it, the shaking hands, it's politics dynamics. Einstein says even tougher than faces. So you can put your emotion aside, the reality will sink in. Amarakon is already giving you a hint that they got other things to address. Can you imagine if the government won't be able to service her own debt, and the international community or IMF and other institutions are telling you that the Liberian government, the incoming administration, won't be able to borrow? You know what that means economically in Liberia? Do you know what that really means? So all the thing about emotion, jumping all over the place with your expectation, you better tame it down. Calm down. We will keep telling you on SKTV. We are not here to tell you what you want to hear. We'll tell you what you need to hear. The reality will kick in, but I would place a bet that Joseph Boakai won't do that, because the people that form part of Joseph Boakai in a co that were able to secure power, they were also on the other side. And I don't want to believe that Joseph Boakai will go after his own administration. Let's talk about going against himself. That will not happen. You will not, you might like they not get a war and economic crime code. Like we said, there are institutions and laws that are in place. See, Labra is not short on laws. Labra is just short on executing laws that do exist. That's our problem, Labra. Every institution, every ministry, every financial institution whatsoever, they got laws there that govern their activity. But in Liberia, no, we don't follow up in executing law. The laws are there, but trust me, they won't go after accountability. Because if you want to go after accountability, Joseph Boakai himself will be held culpable when it comes to accountability. So all the thing about Mr. Clean, about Mr. Wisdom, about setting accountability, I don't think that's going to happen until he can prove us wrong. I would take the opposite.
All right. Let's hear from Dr. Barton Kula before we go to Steve. Since let him be the last caller while we're on the radio. Dr. Kula, are you there?
Yes, gentlemen, can you hear me?
Yeah, very loud and clear.
Gentlemen, you lost the argument, all right? You guys did not get your preferred candidate in Cummings. And after you lost that, you guys started supporting via the CDC, hoping that they would win and not the UP. Well, the Nigerian people did not take your argument. They took the UP. Now, the next thing, now you're saying UP are not going to live up to what they said. But the only thing that Amara posted had to do with the economy. He posted the fact that the World Bank is saying that Liberia cannot take loans now. And he's asking our people to tamper down the expectations. It has everything to do with the economy and nothing to do with a war crime court because Prince Johnson went into that arrangement knowing that Omar Boyka would be seeking the war crimes court. And so that was not even their position that the owner shouldn't seek the war crimes court. Even Bud Naked went into the arrangement knowing that Omar Boyka was going to seek the war crimes court. So again, you guys are pushing and speculating an argument that is not the case. But you're cynical and you'll have this apathy about Liberia because everybody has let Liberians down. So you think another group will come in and let Liberians down. But I don't think that's the case. And we will be here a few months or a year from now having this conversation. And I will tell you, I told you so, because the Liberians have sent a clear message, not only to the CDC, but he sent a clear message to the UP and Omar Boyka that if y'all come in and y'all lie and don't do what y'all promised, we will kick y'all out the same way we kick the CDC out. So, my brother, y'all can speculate all day long, but a new day has dawned in Liberia, and we'll have a new type of leadership in a new Liberia.
All right, before you go, Dr. Kula, I want to acknowledge you for being around SKTV, for being a supporter of SKTV, for being around since we were on the cell phone. I want to acknowledge that, but I also want to inform you that you are wrong, very, very wrong to accuse us of now, of speculating the wrong thing for, the wishing Joseph Boakai to fail. You said because we did not get our yeah, because you said we are speculating.
Yeah, you said we are being cynical.
Yeah,
and politics all about speculation.
You said we are being cynical. We are speculating. It's the same thing. That means we want him to fail.
And he himself is speculating.
Okay. Let me just give me. That's why we listen to you for you to finish. Let me say something. Okay. What I want to tell you, Dr. Kula, is that in fact you coming here, you've been here the whole time. You coming here to say because your preferred candidate did not win the election, you wanted George Weah to take it, yes. And George Weah didn't get it, then so didn't get it. That in itself means that you are being very cynical. You are being very, very, very much biased when it comes to SKTV. We did not, as the platform, lend our support to any political party or individual. We did not. Listen, we did not. You people think like that. Listen, my man. But the way you're talking, if we do that, listen now. But the way you do now, if you all do that, then you will not have the platform to talk. When you were talking, I listened to you. Let me talk and conclude. Okay. I'm not going to waste my time anymore talking to you, Steve and Mon. Steve and Mon, you guys have anything to tell this guy?
Yeah, well, I gotta tell Badon Kula everything in politics.
So you're not going to listen? My man, I thought you were somebody responsible.
So you see now, for Anna.
Yeah, but you gotta behave like a responsible adult, my brother. Okay, we agree with everything you say. Can you listen now? My man, you say you are that, and we got respect for you. When you come on the platform, when you talk your own, get tend to talk their own. Okay. Do you want to listen? Okay, we agree with everything you say. Can you listen now?
Simple, man. So okay, move on.
No. Okay, we agree with everything that Akula said. Monk and Steve, you guys are. I mean, I got nothing to say.
No, I don't agree. No, I don't agree with what he said. Mr. Kane, I don't agree with what he said. First of all,
I agree with everything because I want you to.
Dr. Kula can take his disrespect somewhere else. Nobody that tried here for him to tell people who they supported, who they didn't support, and nobody is afraid to claim if they supported somebody. We've made it clear. If he wants to think in his head that somebody supported, but Mr. Kane, you don't have to keep the man on the phone. You don't.
Yeah. Dr. Kula, I thought you were going to be responsible. You know, to have a conversation. I can let you go. No problem. No problem. Nah, I think you're going to be responsible enough to have a conversation.
First of all, the man, as we speak,
I'm disappointed.
As we speak, the man is angry in my inbox attacking me. He's in my inbox attacking me. Can you imagine? He's in my inbox attacking me.
No,
that's how he is.
Yeah,
that's how he is. He behaves, erratically and so forth. But that's his business. I don't care about his views about the other person supported whoever it is. He's supposed to tell who's supposed who. He can tell me who I supported, who I didn't support. I know myself.
All right.
But the bottom line
is this call out. We'll go.
The bottom line here is this, Mr. Kenneth. The bottom line is
Mr. Brandon Noah.
Nobody supported anybody. No, Mr. Kenneth, we got to clear this thing up, please. We got to address this thing, please.
Yeah, but
we're on the radio. Mr. Brandon Noah can wait. He can wait.
Yeah,
we're on the
radio.
We can't allow this man to come in and just spew nonsense and then we're allowed to slide. That's not the right thing to do. Baton Kula is a Joseph Boakai supporter. Nobody said Joseph Boakai should fail. That's not what we said. We are only asking the public if they want one economic crime squad or if they want both one economic crime squad and the other things that are available there in terms of justice and accountability. Watching here that Batin that poke at a kind and attack us. So, I mean, Baton Kula need to slow down. Nobody is after Joseph Boakai, and we will hold Joseph Boakai accountable. Whether you like it or not.
And I wanted to respond to Baton Kula.
Yeah, Mom, go ahead.
Like you said, you see, Baton is held to high esteem, and sometimes he operates in a way that people will question. I don't want to go that route. Baton, everything in politics is about projection and speculation. You are telling us that we are cynical because we are speculating. We can speculate all we want. Joseph Boakai is yet to take office, so we are all placing your bet. Everything's a probability. There's a probability he could do better. There's a probability he cannot. But we are saying based on his past records and dealing, there is a higher chance that he will not go on the issue of accountability. So you yourself speculating. You are saying the Labrimpo will come, you will come on the platform and tell us, I told you so. Why is that? It's speculation because Boakai is still yet to take office. So you are only speculating just like we do. We are speculating, but we are just making our analysis based on the probability of one thing happening over another. And we are saying based on his history, there is a higher chance that he won't follow up on accountability because there are players on his team that are deeply corrupt and he himself will be within that dragnet. So it's not going to happen based on the history because it started from Madam Salih government to a George Weah government and then to a Joseph Boakai government. And Boakai was part of Madam Salih administration. So it is more than likely that he won't pursue the whole idea of accountability and has tend to be, I hold my position as firm as the Northern
All right. So let me say this, Monk. Thank you, and thank you, Steve. I wanted this conversation to be like somehow, like mature people having conversation, so that the audience that are listening can benefit. Yes, we are cynical, and I have all reason to be cynical. Cynicism is not to be sure; it's to be thoughtful, not to trust certain things. And my cynicism is based on the fact that Joseph Boakai is yet to show leadership. Not because Joseph Boakai is elected today to be president, change him from being the Joseph Boakai of yesterday. So we will remain cynical until proven otherwise. I'm cynical. I'm very much pessimistic that Joseph Boakai will show any leadership. Prove me wrong. My only problem with Dr. Kula that I respect a lot, for the fact that he been one of the people of SKTV every day will come on here, he will be here, he will share the show, he will contribute, he will call in, he will even sometimes contribute financially for SKTV. I respect everybody, but that doesn't mean we can't tell you the truth. Your own speculation against SKTV, that's okay. Granted, you think we supported Commis, we supported George Weah. Now Boakai is the president. All you need to do now, all of the cynics, all of the people who are cynical, who have different problems with Joseph Boakai, who are doubting Joseph Boakai for being able to deliver, for showing leadership, you should pray and work with Joseph Boakai to make sure that he make us him. I'm cynical, I agree 100%. Because I don't trust him, I'm judging him from the past. And if you can judge Joseph Boakai from the past, Joseph Boakai is yet to show leadership. Joseph Boakai, instead of being the leader, he's being led by his follower. So until Joseph Boakai can show that leadership in terms of deliverable to the Liberian people, in terms of having some, responsible government that will get to work right away and deliver for the Liberian people, will remain cynical. I don't want to agree with him. We are cynical because of the fact that Joseph Boakai has a record of not showing leadership. Until he can show leadership, we'll remain doubtful. We will not trust him until he does something that will make us, wow, I didn't know this. Maybe this is going to be a different Joseph Boakai. That's what we want. We want him to succeed. If he succeeds, I will succeed. But we are doubting, personally, I'm doubting that Joseph Boakai will do anything different from what he has been doing for the past 47 years. Not showing leadership. So I don't know, maybe I don't know if we can take this guy or we can just, you guys want to leave. But since you've been on hold for a little bit, let me just take your call for maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Then Mr. Brother Noah, we live in the radio now. So we're still gonna be here.
Thank you. Please stop me, all of you guys stop me for not speaking. You see, today when I read Amara Connect post, it was $86.6 million debt that Liberia owes. I put a post up there. Segu, I believe that we came in this country for people to criticize or put up their views and analysis up there, what Joseph Boakai will be, what kind of leadership he will bring to our country. If you guys are saying those things, I was a very big critic of George Weah and critics of Alexander Kumish. All of those things you guys are saying, you guys are right. Let Joseph Boakai come in and make all of us shame and make some of us happy that will preach that Joseph Boakai's administration will be different. Where are we going to get the $86.06 million? If Joseph Boakai, I said it to you people a few days ago. The rise and fall of Joseph Boakai will be $86.06 million.
Okay. No problem. You go ahead and conclude.
Yeah. So for this, we see people who criticizing you people, they don't watch CNN, they don't watch MSNBC, they don't watch Fox in this country. It is better for you to watch those stations and analyze. When people are saying something, listen to them. STV is asking the public opinion. They are not investigative, or they are not saying Joseph Boakai will not be better, or his administration will not be better, or he will not do the opposite way. I don't know why people are getting angry. What the people are getting angry with you people? It's your analysis. You people are in the news. What's it? What's wrong with that?
Thank you, man. Thank you.
People are telling Joseph Boakai exactly what he's supposed to do. When he does this tomorrow, it is the betterment of the Liberian people. Sekou, man, look, you shouldn't waste your breath on other people that really can analyze issues in our country or around the world. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Melbourne and the guys in Liberia, trust me, I'm grateful. And I think Steve and Monto, we are grateful for the fact that you guys, were patient with us to go over our time for 31 minutes. We really appreciate it. If you guys, want to leave now, you can leave. If not, the people still calling, but I'm not going to waste your time anymore.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you. Because we have a lot of programs already on.
So call us, stay on the line. I'm going to take your calls. We're just trying to, close on the radio. So
thank
you. In all of these things, what do you have to say before leaving?
Yes. When you listen to Steve and that Monk, I think they are near everything. In fact, I don't know how come, but anyway, I want to say thank God for the kind of technology world that we are living in. Like you people are now saying everything like you are residing in Liberia. And everything that you just said, that's just the fact. Let me be frank, whether we like it or not as people, for me, I will tell you plain blank that in the one way and the other, all of the government officials, BA, the one that even enter, even maybe I hope and pray that maybe even tomorrow we'll be discussing about asset declaration to see, or maybe we'll be looking at some of the government officials that will be appointed. Because, mind you, whether you like it or not, or Steve, Sekou, and other Monk, all of the government officials, they are all into one another. There are other people who've been benefiting from the government, whether they were in the government or not. Or one way or even if you say, yes, the government is corrupt, but one way or other, you've been benefiting. So, like there are maybe all of them will say when you haul rope will haul bush. So you see, so all of them that are coming on board, some of them they've been benefiting a lot, and they've been eating some of the money also that they're also claiming that maybe the government is maybe heavily corrupt. But all I can tell you that you are saying, Sekou, one of the best things to do to get everything on a very smooth path is allow the system of the War and Economic Crimes Court. Because if the court come, that will not be like Monk is witch hunting me, or maybe Steve is witch hunting me. No. So everybody will feel free and say, yes, I think, yes, this is a clear court, and this court have no blind eyes to say maybe they are favoring Steve, or maybe they are favoring Monk. But other than that, even if you say yes, let's go back to the same LACC, that is the same thing. Liberian will cry, Liberian will complain, people will protest, and other things that are going to happen. But all in all, we want the government that coming in to 100% succeed, but let them do the right thing. For me, now I would say.
Melbourne, thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And we will be here tomorrow with Melbourne and the other guys in Liberia. So yeah, Melbourne, thank you so much. You can leave us now.
But we're not even getting to the criticism in a minute. So
yeah. No, but for the people, they're not be preemptive.
We're not even really,
There's something called preemptive strike. The people, they want to be preemptive, thinking that they can show that, okay, even if Joseph Boakai does wrong, if you go to jail, you go against Joseph Boakai, we'll attack you, we'll bully you, we'll counter your life. Hey, SKTV, we are here. And we are here to stay. So we are not criticizing Joseph Boakai. We are having conversation on what to expect.
But Joseph Boakai is the president-elect.
Yeah, Joseph Boakai is the president. He's going to be president for all of us. So we have the right, to actually put him under the microscope before even going to. If some of this conversation can be considered, what you hear from the Liberian people, what you hear from us, It can give them the chance to think, to have a second thought on issues. Well, let me take this caller. It looks like this is overseas call. Caller on the WhatsApp line. What is your name and where are you calling from? Germany, Amara Fofana. Go ahead.
I've been following you and your colleagues in Stido. But one thing, I don't know. One thing your colleague was saying, the Brazilian, maybe, I don't know, because you said that I cannot take power here because we can say that. Because January 50, maybe the mayor will be in office. But the way you're talking like that to see he already there that maybe all why you say the mayor will not audit is the mayor audit because the mayor is following past government, CDC. When you come to audit now, when you need staff to say, let me start for CDC government before going to Unity Party government. Yeah. Maybe that will be another plan again. Maybe that's what I may tell you. And second to that, give them a chance. Maybe before 3 months or 6 months, you see the action for the man before you can trust to say yes. You cannot just judge the man like that or know what happened behind the scene. Of course, that you know what was the problem again. You're talking about to say yes, CPU or no. Now you don't want to see problem because you're not allowed to evaluate Mr. Kumi to say yes. The way the thing is going on, people are already fair to say yes. Nobody like that people way.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
To become vice president or somebody, then the man said that no, then you people not advise the man, and now you tell that to say yeah.
Hold on. Let me ask you where. Let me ask you, Amara. You said the man is supposed to be vice president for somebody. The man said no, that we didn't advise the man. Who also Joe Baga asked coming to be a vice president. Coming said no. Huh?
You are the one. You are the one that interviewed Mr. Kumi. First time I hear it from Mr. Kumi, you are the one that interviewed him. That time, see people still together. You asked Mr. Kumi, you asked him to say, yes, Mr. Kumi. The way everything looking like it, you can become vice president or somebody. Mr. Kumi told you, no, he cannot do that. That's the first person that interviewed Mr. Kumi.
That's not true. That's not what happened.
I can remember.
Yeah, I remember too. But that's not what happened. But what I'm telling you, I'm asking you now. Forget about what I said to Mr. Kumi. You said Mr. Kumi refused. I'm asking you now, did Barker ask Mr. Kumi to be vice president? And we have asked him to say no. Did Barker ask?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Barker asked.
But how can somebody be Barker vice president if Barker didn't ask him?
That was their fighting. The supporter of the opposition.
Okay, all right, no problem. Thank you.
But the supporter, because of what? Because of the support. The supporter did that.
My man, I want you to conclude now. I'll let you to stay here longer because you're all the way. Okay, we're good. Thank you so much. Labro. Caller, what is your name? Prince, let's go to Prince. Prince, how you doing, my man?
Thank you. I'm doing great, man. Happy Thanksgiving or belated Thanksgiving, I don't know whatever it is. Look, Sekou, that's the thing that, again, if I may repeat myself again, that's what set SKTV apart from most other platforms. Consistency, accountability, and pressing the issues, the high issues. And that's why someone like to come here and use the opportunity to do that because we love this sort of thing, And I hope SKTV can desist from the behavior of kind of reducing some of concerns to being emotional, premature, and all the sort of skepticism that sometimes we experience when we come on here to express our concern. Look, my brother, accountability don't go on vacation because emotion enter the house. No. So the fact that you people are holding Honorable Barker accountable, even from the get-go, It is what democracy is all about. It is what viable society is built on, accountability. But I can tell you, Honorable Baka will deliver. I've had a lot of issue with his politics, but then I can't argue with the result. Today, Honorable Baka, all the things we say, all the things we criticize him, today he's president. And that's the result. That's one thing you don't argue with result. However it is. And it's not like the end justifies the means, but the man is a man who, at this given age and time in his life, the only thing he has to lose is his legacy. And I think he will fight hard for that. And you'll make sure that, he leave that legacy. And calling on him and holding him accountable is the right thing to do. It's remind him, keep him on his feet. And I think that's what will happen. And that's what will happen. I think, Joseph Baga will be the Moses that will take Liberian close to the promised land. When I talk about the promised land, I'm talking about what we can have a viable democracy and what we can hold and have accountability. And there will be a Joshua that will rise on his leadership. So you're right. I mean, I hope the people understand where you're coming from, what LSTV is built. And most other platforms will fail, will weather away. Well, I mean, they will be there making noise, but they will not be substantive as FKTV is because of you guys, how you got to deal with the issue and how you got to push the issue. But I can tell you, do everything we can. We're putting everything together and putting everything in place to make sure that Honorable Baga becomes successful, that he doesn't fail, because we don't want to go and press the restart button, because the next government that will come after Honorable Baga will be the government that will open Liberia to the 21st century. So we'll do all we can.
Baga not going to open it to Baga not going to open Liberia to the 21st century?
No, it was close there. He don't have that time in his favor. So it's almost like Moses gave me his age. He don't have that time. Baga may not do a second term, because what George, we are his folks are done right now. They have put Liberia into the 16th century.
All right,
so
thank you.
It takes years for Baga to bring it back to the 21st century. But since he don't have age in his favor, he will do where he will set the foundation again. And hopefully the next generation will build on that foundation. And that's what we will help him to do. We will do everything to be in his power. Right now,
are you still thinking about running for president in 2029?
Yes, I am. And that's why I'm hoping that I'm Baga succeed, because it will make my job much more easier.
All right, my brother. Thank you.
I just spoke with I will speak with the policy maker on Baga, and we'll push with the idea of establishing the Liberian National Gold Reserve. And not only the Liberian National Gold Reserve, but also other things that will help to make Liberia a country that will be on par with other countries. We got the resources. Why not we have a reserve?
All right, man. Thank you so much. Prince, Prince, you gotta leave it. And when I tell you thank you, it means I want you to just listen. Yeah, but have you talk all the one you want to talk to? Yeah. When I say thank you, it means that I want you to close by yourself. I don't want to tell people to off.
Consider this one thing. Because Liberia have so much damaging economy because of the poor decision I made with the changing of the Liberian currency, I will ask for Baga to propose a 10-year moratorium on suspending the current Liberian currency and put it in the reserve and introduce the United States dollars to Liberia for 10 years so you can create a level playing field so our mother and father in the market can hold the Liberian dollar, determine the future, the United States dollar, determine the future of the United States dollar, do the business of the United States dollar.
I mean, you dreaming big, oh. I like you, man. I like you.
10 years we can reintroduce the Liberian dollar simultaneously into the market, where we can be funded. We have a gold reserve to back our currency, and that process can be done with more economically and logistically and not emotionally, like something do than they. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, I will take two last calls and we'll call it a day. Yeah, call up 973 number, last 4 digits 6494. What is your name and where are you calling from? 973 number, last 4 digits 6494. Hello? I'm not hearing you. You are very low. I'm not hearing anything.
Hello?
Okay, now you are. We can hear you. Go ahead.
When people, I think sometimes we we get personal because of likeness of somebody. You and I live in America. Even from campaign time, from the day the president announced they're running for president or any office, they scrutinize them until the time they win, up to the time they leave office. So while I bring people think because Black are winning presidency, so we should put everything on hold and see what he would do for before we start talking. This is the time for us to keep talking, for him to hear it, that the expectation that he put out there still stand, and let him know that what we expect of him. That's when people need to stop. Okay? It's not about, oh, you're not disrespecting the man. The man's a popular figure now. He said you will do what you gotta do. You're not saying that thing. Let the man do a job. If anything that happens, then we'll talk about it. Again, say, don't talk about it, man. Wait. And because I'm not gonna post that something. What am I gonna post that? I don't know if he would be the finance minister or whatever the situation may be. If they're not talking to the president elect and enforcing things, people will react on what they post. So like when people need to let people to do their job, it's not for it. If workers succeed, like us succeed. So let people do what they have to do. All news people will not carry news the same way. And nobody can make sure going, look what we did. We clap for John, we cheer for him, and instead the country was damaged. So workers say you will deliver. So right now, when people post something, you got to go into where people post and open it up and scrutinize it for other people to get a view. So I don't see nothing bad about what you're saying. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. We are not really worried about these people. Actually, we are here. They will get angry. They will be happy. They will come back. They will go and stay here. So, and we are here for them. Anyway, we are here for everybody. So we don't really care about people getting angry about what we do and how we do it. SKTV remain where we are. We pay loyalty to nobody. Our loyalty is to Liberia. I want to make sure that we do the best for Liberian people. So don't worry about those people. They will come here, they'll be happy, they'll be angry, they will come back. The wish is normal. But Brokeable Power, are you there? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're the last caller.
No. It looks so laughable when you hear someone inside child defending thing that they then go against. Look, from day one, I've never seen commenting even to say something against or say something in favor of the government. Why, as a doctor that know about what happened in the war, the economy is different, the circumstances in the country or around the world. But from day one,
Don't attack him personally. You can state your disagreement. That's fine. Just forget about him. Yeah, no, don't address him. Just talk your own issues.
It's not soon when I hear school want to defend. It's not soon, very soon. Can you imagine? Let's say 1 month and a half to bring power. You start defending thing and you're going against. Thing that you say you're rehabilitating for, that you start defending. You got a long way to go. 6 years, it's not just 2 days. 6 years, it's not 2 days. It's not 2 days, 6 days. It's 6 tricky years. So you're say strong. Because look, even I hear anything, my government. When I'm going to the bathroom for today, my government. If I'm going home from school, my government. They traffic on the road, my government. Rain for a whole day, my government. Water following the whole community, my government. Those are things I'm not defending. So you have a long way to go. If you think government just to sit down and be spreadsheet, then it's not true Ghana. True Ghana can work nowhere, no day. It's fast. You have to change now straight and defend everything I think they do. Because everything you said before, and now people will vote for you. Prepare. Nobody can make any expectation. Nobody will straight down expectation. The expectation are being built by you. We have to lower our expectation. You say kill a rescue. I in the water journey. They say you are rescuing me. They can't say, oh, just say highway. I will come out for you. Do you think you can make it? I will hold it down.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We gotta leave it there. So Monk and Steve, I mean, what's it, you guys, man? We gotta leave it there for today. I'm enjoying the conversation, to be honest. I'm even enjoying the comments more.
You know what caught me by surprise today? The responses from Bob Denwa and Badon Kula, I thought who have been the opposite. What Bob Denwa said, I expected it from Badon Kula, but unfortunately, it happened the other way. Because Bob Denwa, sometimes he can be very emotional when it comes to his support for the former vice president or president elect. But today, I think he was more open and he was kind of in the middle when it comes to being pragmatic about the subject matter. What I want to tell Badon, you want some of us around. Because maybe our stance will put Joseph Boga under pressure to deliver. And the good thing, even if Joseph Boga deliver, we all win. Liberia win.
Absolutely.
So it's not about it's not about politics. It just we know our politics. We know the games that they play. We have seen it. They are. You see, when you're doing something called data, the guys call historical data, things that happened in the past. We saw it with Joshua. CDC were let down. We saw it from Madam Salif. We seen the players that are on Joseph Boaga team. We saw what happened within the CPP. The Stanton with this one instance he just made. What made you think, based on all the facts, I will want to believe that Joseph Boaga will come and order himself or go after Jeremiah Quinn and Prince Johnson? Come on, my brother. The reality, you can fantasize all you want, but there's something called pragmatism. There's a reality we are talking about here. We look at the history, look at the politics. How many do you think all the lawmakers and all the guys calling for war crime code? Do you believe that they really believe in a war crime code? Do you want me to believe that Prince Johnson is 100% genuine when he say he opened to a war crime code? When in fact you see he's switching from one party to another just for the sake of seeking protection, and you want me to believe that somehow Joseph Boga will go against Prince Johnson? My brother, until I'm proven wrong, my position remains constant. I'm telling you, George Weah and his band of criminals will walk scot-free, because I believe Joseph Boga doesn't have what it takes to go for accountability full blast. It won't happen. I still remember my position. Pardon can interpret all he wants. That's his business. That's his view. That one thing about talk show. We are all speculating. It's all about politics. Everything is about projection. So somebody will have to be wrong. For me, I'm not afraid to be wrong. I love someone telling me, say, "Oh, Cyrus, I told you this." We learn more from being wrong than being right. You know that that's what we learn from as him on the most. When we make mistake, when we are wrong, and someone come and correct us, that's also a learning process. So I'm not afraid to be wrong. So Badman, whether you want to take this person or whether we support a candidate or not, we are just saying, based on historical facts and the politics of Liberia, it is more likely it won't happen that Joseph Boga will go for accountability. Thank you, guys. We'll do it another day.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark, as always, man. Steve?
Yeah, Mr. Kane, I wouldn't want to keep us long or to, go back to Baton's session. We've already addressed it. And on SKTV, we're very accommodating and welcoming to opposite views. But there are just some things that are facts and reality. Instead of wasting your time and attacking us here, I think it will do you a favor. It will do you well, and it will also serve well that we use these energies and these vibes, maybe to sit down and start thinking critically as to how we can, help the government, the incoming government, to do what is right. Because it gets even embarrassing if you supported Joseph Yuma Boakai and they come and do worse than George Weah or similar thing as George Weah then did. That's even more problematic. Then you will be viewed as a problematic person. You will be viewed as enabling, enhancing, and welcoming suffering on the Liberian people. So for all indications, even if the World Bank didn't say it, even if Amara Kone is regurgitating what the World Bank said, I don't care who regurgitates it. Go ahead, Monk. Maybe you want to say it, please.
No, sorry. That's not me. Sorry.
Even if the World Bank, Amara Kone, or whoever regurgitates what the World Bank said, the truth of the matter is, we've said this here before on SKTV, we'll continue to say it. The challenges for this new administration is very high. The issue of lowering expectation or bringing on expectation, it left with a unity party-led government that will be taking over in January. In fact, they put the expectation up so high in their campaign messages or the campaign messaging, even to the very first interview that the president-elect had. he's still keeping this issue of campaign promises as though they're realistic. And some of these things are not realistic and factual. And we came on here and said, in fact, some of you could read this World Bank article. We were the very first people on SKTV to say, y'all lower the expectations. We said it on SKTV. Y'all go listen to the tape. We're not against the Baka-led government, but it would be unfair to the Liberian people if we were to take a lackadaisical approach, or if we were to sit back and just say, you know what, and let the government knew, no. That would be unfair to we are and CDC. Let me tell you something today. SKTV's mission is not a political party or a person. Our concern is the Liberian people. If you do funny thing, we'll criticize you. You not do funny thing, we're not going to look for criticism also and bring it to you. Everything we said before the campaign, during the campaign, the reason why we are not taking anything back is because what we said, they were the truth and the truth. Whether your candidate win, your candidate lose, we said what was right. They know what they did. We're not here to come and justify or come and say this. Moving forward, we want to work with the government. We're open. We're not in opposition to any government. But the play what the true air will say it though. We are saying this so the government can be prepared. In fact, you should even be taking off for giving heads up. We're not here lying and saying, everything will be cool, the transition, and and the government will come. We are saying possible things that you could be faced with. Possible challenges that you could be faced with. I thought y'all would sit there and say, the thing what the men are saying, that you the really in, Liberia's interest. Can we look at it? Okay, Seku, you're saying, and they might bring both one economic crime squad and also they might carry on the auditing. Seku, how can this be done? Steve, why your suggestion? And here they were talking, but y'all won't censor us to say we can say that one, we can say that one. Y'all see where? Yeah. Let me tell you something. We get so blind on board, we'll be drinking so blind and saying the truth. I see nothing here.
So thank you so much, guys. You get me crazy. But yeah, I love SKTV and I love our audience. Trust me. And with no disrespect to Dr. Kula, I got tremendous respect for him because he's been very consistent of being a follower of SKTV. You will always be here, whether you disagree or also you agree or you always here. You always be writing his opinion on issues, and I like that. And he is not one of those people who can just insult. He will throw allegation here and there. That's okay. That's his opinion of us. We will take your criticism in good faith, like everybody else. As long as you can criticize all for the right or for the wrong reason, and you're not insulting anybody, you're using insulted language or languages. You are not using the words that are not acceptable. Honestly, we are fine. Criticism is a good thing. We cannot be here criticizing leaders, presidents, other officials of government, and then we will be somehow, not ready to take criticism. Criticism is good. However, when you criticize, we also reserve the right to say the record straight. If you say something that we believe is not truthful, we'll come here and put the record straight. And that's exactly what we are doing. We are not mad at anybody. We're not going to censor anybody. We're not going to block anybody for speaking your mind or for accusing or of anything. We are capable, able to defend ourselves, to defend our position at any time. And we stand by everything we say on SKTV. Everything. We are human. If we are wrong, believe me, we are not too big to take it back or to correct ourselves. But we believe everything we have said here, we don't just talk. And we are doing the right thing. We are helping Joseph Boakai. We are setting the stage for him. Some of the challenges he will have or his government will have moving forward. So, Joseph Boakai, United Party people, we should be thankful to SKTV for being the only platform that is projecting both positive and negative. And we see both. Joe Biden can choose which way to go. If he does the right thing, we see positive. But I Isaac Uken and SKTV. I am pessimistic. I will remain a cynic when it comes to Joseph Biden showing leadership because he has no record of showing that. That's my reason. It's not hate. I just throwing the ball in his court. Let him go and show leadership so he can come and pull in my face. Say, oh, you said Joseph Biden not going to show leadership. Here you are. Here we are. You see? See, we told you. That's what I want. Because that would benefit Liberia. So we got to put the man under the microscope for now and send him challenges that he has to prove us wrong to do the right thing, to show leadership. Void of tribalism, to show leadership. Void of discrimination, to show leadership. They will put Liberia first. Let me tell you, when Joseph Boakai appointed his campaign team with no Muslim part of it when he was criticized, you know what they did? They went back to the drawing board. They recalibrated and put people there. Put Muslim people there. But other people will see themselves in you. Those that were supporting Joseph Boakai and Unity Party, they appreciated the criticism because it worked out for them. They went back to the drawing board and recalibrated and appointed people. Do you know what happened when we criticized? The leader that they can go and listen and make some adjustment. So everybody being a bunch of sticker friends is not going to help your leader. That killed CDC. A lot of people around George Weah were sticker friends or are sticker friends. They refuse to tell the man the truth. They lie to the man. They betray the man by being a bunch of yes men. So we'll leave it there, Steve. We'll be here tomorrow. We'll be here tomorrow. Steve, anything else? Otherwise, we can close. And then, Steve, are you here? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I wasn't getting you.
So you know what? We're having some trouble playing songs. That's why I didn't do that video thing today. They're copywriting. They are actually disturbing most of our video. Yeah, they're copywriting, because the video we play here, even though you put disclaimer, but they stay, the owners are stay, having issues. So we are actually going to make our own jingle, our own, song that we will play here just to entertain our people. Because the key here is the substantive nature of our discussion. People not kind of have to listen to music. So we don't play music like that we used to do. We'll come here, we'll go strictly to the issue. We'll play songs that now, that don't have the whole copyright infringement things on it. Things that got nothing. Somebody can say, oh, okay, you are using my music, you're doing the music is not important to us that much. And I believe many of you have access to YouTube and other music platforms. You don't kind of for music. So we're going to minimize our playing music here. We will have our own stuff to play here that nobody can say, you're having copyright infringement. We don't want that. So, Steve, we got to leave it there unless you have something to say.
No, I really have nothing to say. Thank you, Mr. Kane. Thanks to our listeners and our viewers. SKTV as always. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Mr. Kane, we're going to the meeting tonight. Yes, we'll be at the meeting. So we'll go get ready to go to the meeting, folks. Thank you.
So you have to show a Moses before you go. In La Belle, do you know when you call Moses? So Moses, cut your hair.
Yeah.
But you cut your hair, it can be looking different. So they want good.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I'll put it together.
All right, folks. Let me take this guy there. This guy bluffing too much. So, folks, we say thank you to all of you. We really appreciate your time. We'll be here tomorrow. Thank you all.